When asked if you would support Donald Trump, you said you have to search your soul. Did last night tell you anything in terms of whether or not you would be able to support him, or if, in fact, he's still in the lead in the polling?
Well, I thought last night was very embarrassing for Donald Trump. What's not being reported and talked about is the embarrassing questions about waste, fraud, and abuse, where he has no clue what that means, nor is it real about lowering the spending of the federal government. The other was about foreign policy, his switches. Those are very important things that I saw last night. And Donald Trump, it was embarrassing watching him try to answer those questions.
Yeah, but do you think that the people...
So nothing's changed for me.
Nothing's changed for you?
Nothing changed. No, nothing changed for me. I don't think he's going to be the nominee. We've got 35 states to go. And so a lot could happen between now and then. And the fact is that 65% of the people voting in the Republican primaries are not voting for Trump. And that's who Romney's speaking about and for. And that's who Rubio and Cruz are speaking for. So a lot can happen between now and the convention.
Yes, it's interesting because so far that lack of substance, that, lack of detail when it comes to waste, fraud, and abuse, the entitlements, spending, national security, hasn't resonated with his very core followers.
Well, that's true, but his core followers is only 35% of those voting. And I think what Romney did and what others are doing, the conservative movement certainly is doing this, they're trying to hold Donald at that plateau of 30 to 35%. If he stays at 35%, there's 20 more states that are proportional in allocating delegates. And if Donald Trump stays at that 30 to 35%, he's not going to be the nominee.
Interesting.
But, Congressman, if Donald Trump wins Florida and Ohio, he only has to win half of the delegates thereafter. And it's still...
Well,
Go ahead.
That's true. That's true. But for every state that he loses, it's less likely that he gets 1,237 delegates. So, but if Trump loses Florida and Ohio, there is no way he's going to be the nominee.
But I want to push on that. So if he doesn't get to 1,237 and we get to the convention, I mean, a party that already almost looks irretrievably broken will definitely be broken at a convention like that.
That's what conventions are for. This is a nominating process. This is not electing a president. The party gets to nominate who they want to represent them. And because we haven't been going to conventions in the past, doesn't change the fact that the convention ultimately decides who's going to be the nominee by voting a majority of the delegates that have been picked because of the primaries. That's what's happening here, and unfortunately the American people don't understand that. We are not electing a president. We're nominating a candidate.
So what do you want to see happen here? Do you want either Rubio or Cruz or Kasich to say, look, I'm out and I'm supporting the other one, so that the field narrows and we can see the consolidation of support?
If you want a candidate to go into the convention with a majority of the delegates, then they should get out. But they're not going to get out. And if they don't get out, then it's more likely that the nominee will be picked in the convention.
Wow. Here's Jack Otter from Barron's.
So, Tom, months ago on this show, I said there's no way the Republicans are going to let this guy get the nomination. If it goes to a brokered convention, that'll happen. So far, I think history is only half proving me right. But lots of angry people sent tweets my way that said there's no way that the party can go against the will of the people. It'll destroy the party. So my question to you is, should it end up with a brokered convention, how do you get the Republican Party, the voters, to be excited about whoever comes out of it?
First of all, it's not going against the will of the party. 65% right now have voted against Trump. 65%. Trump has only gotten 35%.
Yeah, but he said the will of the people. He said the will of the people,
The will of the
yeah.
people. No, it's the will of the Republicans. When you vote in a Republican primary, you are a Republican. It's not the will of the people. The will of the people are expressed in the general election. That's what people are not getting here.
Okay, fair enough.